Hi guys. So today we're back in Eckert's greenhouse, as you can see, and it's beautiful outside. Everything is busting out in flowers. If you've been down Greenmount, you see that we have lots of pink blossoms on the peach trees now. And of course we are here in the garden, in the greenhouse, and we have all the herbs and the early spring vegetables are in, from beets and kale and celery and Brussels sprouts and so on. Since we have time to plant a wonderful garden this year, and the weather is cooperating as well. So you might want to take a trip and look and see what you can grow at home this year. So today we have this awesome book, the Golden Egg Book. Now this is actually a very old book. It's one of the golden books, like lots of people probably have a bunch of them in their bookshelf, but I thought this was very appropriate for today. Beautiful illustrations. It really is a good time just looking at these awesome pictures. The Golden Egg Book by Margaret Wise Brown and illustrated by Leonard Weisgate. Once there was a little bunny. He was all alone. One day he found an egg. He could hear something moving inside the egg. What was it? Maybe a little boy, maybe another bunny, maybe an elephant, or maybe a mouse? What do you think? Who could tell what he would find, and how would a little bunny know? But there was something inside the egg. He could hear something moving. He shook it. And then the bunny pushed the egg with his foot. He jumped on top of the egg. He climbed a tree and threw nuts at it. Good thing it didn't break, huh? He rolled the egg down a hill, but still it didn't break. And whatever was in the egg didn't come out. So the bunny threw a rock at the egg. But because he was only a very little bunny, it was a very little rock, and he didn't throw it very hard, and the egg didn't break. Pick, pick, pick. Something was trying to get out of the egg. The bunny sat very still and watched through his shining eyes. He sat very still and he listened with his big soft ears. Pick, pick, pick. Then the little bunny began to yawn. And he yawned and he yawned. The egg was very quiet. He curled up all sleepy and warm close to the egg and went to sleep. He went to sleep because he was so sleepy. Then, pick, 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 and pick, 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 and crickety-crack, out jumped a little yellow duck. Well, what is this? Said the little duck when he saw the bunny. What could this little fur thing be? He didn't know. The bunny was very sleepy, so he was still asleep, and he didn't wake up. Inside the egg, said the duck, I thought I was all alone in this small dark world. Now I find myself alone with a bunny in a big bright world, and the bunny won't wake up. So the duck pushed the bunny with his foot. Whoa. And and jumped on top of him, and threw a little rock at him, and rolled him down a hill. Whoosh, he goes down, and the bunny woke up. Where is my egg? Said the bunny. And where did you come from? Never mind that, said the duck. Here I am, So the bunny and the duck were friends, and no one was ever alone again. Well, this is the place where the friendship between the bunny and the duck begins, and our story ends, and we get to make some fun projects today. Let's see, I am going to put this book under here because we have lots of important things to do today. So the very first thing is, I'm going to show you how we can blow out real chicken eggs. This is a 1,000-year-old tradition. Actually, through centuries, people have done this because the egg stands for hope and rejuvenation and springtime, and babies are born everywhere. So we're going to take a chicken egg, and I'm using some 91% alcohol and wipe off my chicken egg. Actually, I already did these, but I'm going to show you one more time. This is very high percentage alcohol, just like the same you would do when you go to the doctor. You would use the same kind of alcohol to make sure this is nice and clean. Now, I keep in this little cork, one of these little tacks that you put on a cork board. That works really well for me. So I hold the egg firmly in my hand, and now I make just tiny little holes in there. This works very well. Just enough that I can blow the egg out through there. And then I'm going to do the other side as well. We don't have to be afraid because these eggs are from the grocery store. There's no little chicks in here and no ducklings. And then we will take a little dowel rod, any kind of a long pokey thing that you can find at home. And I'm going to stir that up a little bit. It makes it easier to blow out. And then you have to just, you see how it's already trying to fall out of there? So now I'm just going to put my lips over this and blow it out. Then close. And I have a piece of eggshell in my mouth. So now it's finished. Now I would actually at home wash it again and let it dry out then. So I blew out a bunch of eggs yesterday. So my dog got a lot of egg because we couldn't possibly eat this many eggs. So we blow those out, wash them off again, and then we can decorate them. Let me show you what we would do. So now these are nice and clean and dry already. So it is up to you if you want to decorate it with some paint. You have an assortment of paint maybe at home that you can use. And I will show you if I would take, like I'm gonna just do pink. And in order to have them dry on something, I arrange something that I can lay them on so it can dry, okay? So this is just like a little, one of these little clothespins like. So I'm gonna get a little bit of paint, and I'm sure you guys could be super creative. I'm just gonna make some big pink polka dots. You could make lines, you could draw people on there, you could draw dots and all kinds of creative ideas. This is not that creative. So I'm gonna lay it down here to let it dry. So once this is nicely dried, I am ready to hang my eggs up on my little egg tree. For that, I'd ask you to arrange some little toothpicks. So all you would need to do is take a toothpick and any kind of ribbon you can find. I found this one, I found a little piece of raffia, or sewing thread works really well also. I already had a piece here, but it flew away from me somehow. So all you want to do is make a little loop like this. And right before it's tight, I stick my little toothpick in there. And then I dip this into a little bit of glue that I stuck on here already. So now it can dry on there. So you see, I'll let that dry. This one is already dry. And now I could take my egg This, of course, I didn't finish it. I just drop it into that hole. Now, go in there, little stick. My hands are full of glue and don't want to let go. There it is. And here is my little egg, and it can go on my little egg tree. Now this one is still very wet. Wet paint on there. These forsythia, they're growing everywhere right now and are very nice and colorful, good spring colors. So if you don't want to go through blowing the eggs out, you can also use your little plastic eggs that you probably have at home. You just thread through there a little string, and then I put a little piece of glue on there so they don't pop open. And now you could decorate them with little faces or any kind of creative design that you can think of. But what is also really fun would be to, ooh la la, that little guy didn't want to live up there, would be to take your little plastic egg, take some tissue paper, cut it up into little squares, and now all you need to do is take, I'm going to lay that one down again. I'm just going to use my finger and spread out a little bit of Elmer's glue. And now we're going to just stick everywhere little colorful pieces of tissue paper, and it makes kind of a mosaic looking design. And you just pat them down and they will look beautiful for your Easter table. And they kind of moisten through to make a cool design eventually as you're patting them down, because the tissue paper is very thin and it wets through from the Elmer's glue. Well, they're all stuck to me now. There. But this one needs some more work, but we can hang this one up. There we go. I have an idea. Maybe all of you make some awesome creations, and then you can have a little vote at home on Easter and see who made the most creative or most expressive or most colorful egg. And so you have a family vote. That would be kind of a fun activity. And you have 2 weeks almost to work on making the most beautiful egg now. So now we have another little project to do over here. So I walked around in the yard yesterday and I found this piece of bark that had fallen off a tree that is sadly looking like it's not going to make it through this spring. So I had blown out all those eggs and I started to decorate them just with using Sharpies. And all the Sharpies that I had at my house were only these colors. Now they come in a bunch of pastels and beautiful colors and other colors as well. So you can do that too. So I blew them out exactly the same way I showed you. And then I took my hot glue gun and I closed off the bottom part. So now it is a little vessel and it will hold water. Now a couple of them, I pushed so hard, I little bit cracked them. So I gave it a little rim of hot glue on the top as well. Can you see that? To just strengthen the eggshell there. So this is going to be my little vase actually. So if you look, I have them sitting right here in these little egg holders while I'll get my bark ready for this project. So now we're going to put my bark here. At home, I would use my hot glue gun. If you don't have a hot glue gun, you can also use like sticky tack. So I'm gonna use this sticky tack, and then I'm gonna set these little guys into this little piece of bark. I hope they will stay. Usually when you glue it, it will be a better outcome. I'll use a little bit. And then the most fun is well, I didn't decorate this one yet. So we only make 4 today. I have 4 children, so it's for 4 children, so this is good. Now I prepared a little bottle with water, and I put water in there. So it is my little vase. And this one needs a little bit of water. And then I went around in the yard to see what is growing there. I found some dandelions, so I put that in there. And at Eckert's, I found some lavender. So the lavender gets to go in there as well. Lavender. Then in our yard, I found these little wild violets growing. Stick them in there. Then we have this beautiful cherry blossom. Stick that in there. And then these little guys look like a pretty addition to my little egg vase. There. They were coming back every year. It's called Busy Jenny or something like that. Can't remember the name. Well, this guy isn't wanting to go in there really good. And then, remember how we had the moss on the alligator the other day? Well, we have a little bit more moss. We're gonna stick the moss over here. There. A little moss right there. And then if you still have some of your little pebbles that we had, you could color those and stick them in there as well. Decorate them really nicely. I didn't paint all of them now, maybe another one in pink. This is only one side colored, but I'm sure you can make some awesome little creations there, little dots and lines and so on. And you have a little centerpiece for your Easter table. I'm gonna put it over here so you can see it a little bit better. Oh, another one that you might find at home is the dogwood is trying to bloom. So like a little piece of dogwood would look really pretty in there too. Look at that. I'm going to set this up here so you have a good view of it. And then behind you find our little ducklings that wanted to visit. Look at them. They came today on a field trip to us. I guess they need to go home to their brothers and sisters pretty soon. So I hope you guys will create some awesome Easter eggs. This is a tradition that is thousands of years old, and I grew up doing this. I did it with my children, and I'm still waiting for you guys to post some of your pictures. So fun creating for all of you. Thanks for tuning in today. We see you next time. Bye-bye.